Originally meant for the armed reserves, the Historic Duluth Armory has a rich history that coincides with the arts and culture. But since its closure in the late 70s, the building has turned into a shell of its former self. In recent years, there has been an effort to restore the historic building to its former glory. But as Fox 21's Drew Kerner reports, the energy that once filled the drill hall there is far from gone.
The Armory was built in 1915 as a National Guard Armory and also with the naval militia. And the intent of armories when they were built all over the country were for community use in addition to the military component. Musicians of all kinds throughout the years performed on our stage. International acts, local acts, and everything in between. Everyone from Johnny Cash, Patsy Cline, and of course the great Bob Dylan.
It's been years since the Historic Duluth Armory has had life to fill the empty and decrepit halls. The once lively building was known for its military balls, serving as a part-time entertainment venue while still maintaining its full-time militia. But all of that is about to change. As for one final night, the Armory sang and danced like it did decades prior to its closure in 1978.
And this is the first time that the community has been welcomed and this has been open for a performance on the historic stage. So that's really, really exciting to show what it is now and then get excited for what it's going to be once the renovation is done.
The Armory Arts and Music Center is leading the restoration project. They hope to fully restore and reopen the Armory as an arts, culture, entertainment, and business center in 2026.
So the funding is really critical to bring back an old building such as this. We have a number of grants. We've got some private donations that have come in. It's over $50 million to do the whole building, and you know, we're excited to be starting this fall on getting the first work done and then following it up in the early 25.
The Historic Duluth Armory originally opened in 1915. Over the years, it housed circuses and classic car shows, supplied shelter to Cloquet and Moose Lake residents during the 1918 fires, and even saw a few presidential visits from Harry S. Truman and Franklin D. Roosevelt's wife, Eleanor.
The one that caught me was, of course, the Buddy Holly, Bob Dylan connection. You know, Waylon Jennings was with Buddy Holly on that tour, and he was one of those gentlemen, I'm not sure if he was the one that flipped the coin, but the famous story about that last seat on the airplane where they flipped the coin, and Richie DeValens, I think, lost that one and ended up on the
So the 60s was when it really slowed down, but there were still some acts here. And the Guess Who band, before their first album was released, they played here at the Armory before they were well known nationwide, internationally, and when they built the new Armory up the hill. So this closed as an active military armory in 1978.
But even after decades, hundreds stopped by Saturday's reunion party, showcasing the community's support for the historic site.
We are going to honor the past, and we are, the Duluth Armory is on the National Register of Historic Places, so there are components of the building that need to be restored and retained. This is not going to be a museum, this is going to be an active piece of the community. This drill hall will once again become an event center, honoring and the next generation of musicians and performers here on the historic stage.
Drew Kerner, Fox 21, local news.
Pretty cool stuff. It just shows why it's so important to have like historical societies and different people involved in that to preserve this stuff, or else we're just going to have boxes of tin. Everything's so cheaply made, you know what I mean?
Well, let's just enjoy the history and being able to preserve it in such a way.
Yeah, for sure. Very good. And everybody at the group has been so passionate over the years.